Welcome to IQ HitList. I'm Vishwa Sadashivan. IQ HitList is Inconvenient Questions one-on-one interview that explores the views of an individual that you want to see. My guest today is the most annoying person in Singapore. Well, annoying, obnoxious, and audacious enough to describe himself actually as such. He has been called names: Pinoy, racist, fake. My sense is there might be some truth to this. Have you seen the video that launched his career, where he openly ridicules all the three major races in Singapore? I guess he really means regardless of race, language, or religion, right? Parity in racism. Well, at least he commented on the way each one of us in the different racial groups danced. This is the man who has the gall to irritate, annoy, and offend Singaporeans after spending nearly his entire life in the Philippines. His tribute to SG50, guess what, was a collection of 50 things he hated most about this country, our country. He commented on everything: land transport, IPPT, elitism, censorship, even the SG50 campaign itself. But this guy is also smart. He never commented on the government because you know what happens. Yet, the man is one of Singapore's best-loved YouTube personalities with more than 120,000 YouTube subscribers, 90,000 Facebook fans, 60,000 followers on Twitter, and 53,000 followers in Instagram.
Yes.
Not to mention a staggering 3 million hits on his most popular video. Why on earth would we Singaporeans want to like or even support someone who annoys us or puts us down constantly? Is there something wrong with us? Or is he giving us pleasure or showing the light, albeit in a perverse way? By the way, he's also a DJ with Power 98 FM. Guess that pays his bills. He is Dee Kosh, and he's here, raring to get our goat with his annoying eyebrows and fake accent and ridiculous hairstyle. Dee Kosh, welcome to IQ HitList.
That was the best intro I've ever I was tearing up. I was like, yes.
You love it, don't you?
Yes.
What are you?
I am a human being.
Okay, that's hard to tell.
Yes, but if you're asking about race, I am Chinese Indian by descent.
Okay,
Yes.
why did you say Chinese first and then Indian?
Because apparently my mom was on top.
I beg your pardon?
Like, never mind. she. Because I don't know, it's a thing when you say Chindian, you know,
Yeah,
because
Chindian.
it's Indianese sounds weird. So Chindian
Is it because the Chinese are more superior to the Indians?
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
I would
So you
like
think
to
the
believe
Indians
so.
are more superior to the Chinese?
Well, I don't think we're superior.
Because you did say the Indians are smelly.
Oh,
Are you
because
smelly?
yes.
You are?
When you sweat, I think because of the body heat and plus what we eat, it just makes us smellier than other people.
What do you think of the French? Do you think they're smelly?
I've never smelled a French person
You
before.
should try going to the traveling in the subway.
Oh,
Crowded
really?
subway where people just put their hands up. Why do you think perfume was invented in France?
Makes sense now.
All right. Your name is actually
Yeah. Oh my God, we're gonna expose my.
Daryl Koshi,
Yes.
which is a beautiful Malayali name, right? Malayalam name, no? You're
Yeah.
Malayali.
Yeah.
Namaskaram.
Yes.
Sontanne.
25. I'm just gonna answer.
എവിടുന്നാ വന്നത്? രാജ്യത്തുനിന്ന്.
I had a burger for lunch.
No, when you have a beautiful name like Daryl Koshi,
Yeah.
why must you come up with nonsensical names like Dee Kosh?
Well, I guess because Dee Kosh was like a, what's the word, moniker, right? It's someone who was separate from who I really am. So it's a very different. Daryl Koshi is one person.
Oh,
and-
that's a persona.
Yes, it's a persona that I put up
Yeah.
for online stuff, for stage stuff. So Dee was what my friends used to call me. And Dee Koshi sounds like a dog's name, like Dee Koshi, you know, Dee Koshi. So I decided to drop the Y and it became Dee Kosh.
Why do you think Singaporeans, so many Singaporeans, actually like you?
Oh,
Or
gosh.
claim to like you, even though you insult us?
I don't know.
Is there something wrong with Singaporeans?
I think, like, I would like to believe that I'm funny.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to believe that. But when I first started, I didn't know. I didn't know why Singaporeans were, like you said, you know, I make fun of the different stereotypes and make fun of different situations, and I didn't understand it at first. But then I realized that the reason why Singaporeans like watching my videos is because they relate to it. and it's the kind of jokes that they would tell their friends, and it's the kind of jokes that they already tell their friends. So it's just a relatable persona.
So when you say
a
relate,
relatable opinion.
you said this, right? You said Chinese people can't dance.
Yeah, I'm sorry, no, they can't.
Okay.
They don't have rhythm. Like, rhythm is not their thing.
You need to have complexion for rhythm, is it?
I don't know why, but apparently, yes.
Okay. Malays like to stand in one line.
And dance.
And dance.
So it was called raving at the time. It was called that.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Even
then they
now?
would do it in one line. Now no more already. Now it's not a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Indians put their hands up in the air, your nose goes down.
Because especially in the club, when you start sweating.
You shouldn't impose your own problems on the rest of the race, you know. Do you think so?
Well, I mean, if it's a stereotype, and and it happens more than once to me, then I'll just put it out there. Do you know what I mean?
So do you think most Singaporeans buy these stereotypes?
Yes, definitely. Like, and that's the reason why people watch it. That's the reason why people agree with the video or share the video. And I mean, I don't see anything wrong with laughing at stereotypes. So I'm the type of person, I can laugh at my own stereotype. I can laugh at whatever stereotypes out there. But whether or not you look down on that race because of the stereotype, that's a separate issue.
So you don't?
I don't. I don't. At all.
So you have friends regardless of race, language, or religion?
Yes. I have friends regardless of smell, rhythm, and religion. Yeah.
You know, this is a topic that's really interesting because, I mean, for me especially, because I grew up in a kampong environment, Kampong Baru, that means new kampong.
Oh.
In 1960s, huh?
Okay.
Were you born then? No. Okay, 1960s, we had Chinese, Indian, Malay, all kinds of people hanging out. And we used to call each other racist names. I was constantly being called Kileng Kia by Chinese friends, and I would call them China Becha,
What does that mean, China Becha?
Becha means
bicycle.
trishaw.
Trishaw, right.
We used to call them China Becha, and then of course, the mud, right? But these were terms of endearment. No? We had the license to call each other that because we were buddies. In fact, today, even today, when we meet, we call each other that.
Yeah. Some people.
So we seem to have lost that. We've become so politically correct in society, right? Do you think we need to start being a little bit more relaxed about these jokes and so on? Do you think it's possible even?
Oh, goodness me. Oh, that's a tough question. I think it is possible in the far future. That's what my thing is. Because now with social media and you have the internet, and it's just so much easier to bash someone online when you're not happy. It just makes things much, much harder to be more chill. Because something very small, like a very little comment there, can just blow out of proportion. And, in fact, a small comment can represent a whole race nowadays. You know what I mean? And then the whole race gets bashed. And people have different thoughts about the race. So people have negative feelings and a bitter taste in their mouth when it comes to talking about that particular race. And because of that, it just makes it so much harder to be more chill.
What you're doing and what you've achieved actually is quite phenomenal. Because you have made some statements that are very sharp and stark. And yet, people tend to like it and follow it. I mean, they may not completely agree with it, but I think my sense is they kind of like that candor and honesty. You don't need to agree with someone to like what the person is trying to do. Do you think that's what's happening?
Hopefully.
Because you have not been bashed up yet.
Yes? Yet. I'm
Do you
waiting for the day.
Do you think one day we will find your body in a longkang?
Hopefully that doesn't come to that. But if I do, please let it be in Bedok. Okay, Bedok is a very nice place. I'd really like to be found there.
No, but it's. I think it's so important for us to have comedy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about that.
Yes.
Comedy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the personally, some of the greatest points in my life where I needed to get over something was the train that got me through was comedy. You start to laugh at the thing first before you get over it. And even when it comes to like national disasters or whatnot, I feel like if we're not able to make fun of something or laugh at something, even though the situation is bad, we'll never get over it. We'll always remember that as a very dying or a very trying time. And yeah, comedy is very important, I feel.
Yeah, but comedy is one of the most difficult things to do, right?
Well, yes.
Because there is such a thing as good taste.
Yeah,
Yes?
definitely.
Now, how do you, I mean, you come up with comedy lines virtually every day of your life, both as a DJ and online, right?
Yeah.
It's a damn hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Because from what I'm seeing of you, you're not, although you look like one, you're not really a nutcase.
Maybe. Hopefully.
You want to be a nutcase?
No.
No, but it's how do you walk that tightrope? How do you know when to pull back?
Well, I don't. Like, I don't. Personally, I have no line. So when you sit with me, like with my friends, anything can be made fun of.
Yeah, that's
So
in
it's
your private space.
Yes, correct.
But the moment you go to public space.
Correct. So when I head to the public space, I always imagine I'm talking to my grandmother. Yeah, she has a sense of humor. She's quite nice. Okay. But she has her lines. Like, you can't make fun of the government, or you can't make fun of recent tragedies or whatnot.
Okay.
I always imagine I'm talking to my grandmother, plus a few dirty words. But yeah, so that's how I do it. Like, I imagine, how would my grandmother react to this joke? How would my grandmother react to that joke? And that's where I draw the line. So if I say, oh, my grandma might think that this is too offensive because I really went all the way in this joke, then I won't say it. I'll just keep it to myself and just keep it for my friends. But most of the time, that's how I think. Okay, what would my grandmother or my parents, what would they think? How would they react to this joke? Would it be too negative? Did I go too hard on the situation? Did I go too personal, like below the belt? Yeah, that's how I think.
It's hard. Right?
It's tough. It's tough.
And especially in a society where we are very conscious of not crossing the line.
Yeah.
And there are many lines.
Many lines.
Many lines. But let me ask you this, Dee Kosh. Yes, Dee Kosh. Let me ask you this. What do you think of Charlie Hebdo? You know the cartoons
Right.
that they produced, and there was a terrorist attack
Yeah.
in January this year.
Yeah.
That's also, in their view, comedy,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Poking fun, right? But you have religious characters being depicted as sodomizing or being sodomized. But to them, it was
comedy.
fun.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I honestly think that was just unfortunate. Like, to me, it was funny, if it was comedy, it was funny to some people, but it's like too bad,
Funny to see a caricature of the Pope being sodomized?
I mean, if some people think it's funny, then, I mean, it's not funny to me.
Yeah.
But to some people, that's quite funny. Some people with that kind
No,
of...
obviously, but I'm talking about you.
Oh,
Would you say that crosses the line?
went too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because I guess if you made fun of any other Catholic, right, that would be fine. But because it was the Pope, or whether it's the Pope or Jesus or Buddha or Allah or whatever, it's just, you don't, because the people, you know that people's faith are based on these, icons and these people and gods, but you don't make fun of that because it's very deep rooted to me. Like, these people, like myself, I have my own faith, right? You want to make fun of it, I'm not the type that will come and slap you in your face. You can do it, but I will feel like a bit, right? Because faith is very deep rooted into someone's culture and in a being. And to me, I won't go there.
And its identity.
Yes, an identity of culture even, or a race.
So why is it all right for you to make racial or religious stereotype statements?
Not religious stereotypes, though.
No? You wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't talk about a religious stereotype.
Okay, so religion is where you would draw the line.
Yes, because I myself am a religious person. But other people don't have that line. Other people don't have that line. But to me, publicly, I will never, cross that line when it comes to religion. Race, yeah, but not religion.
You did NS, right?
Yeah,
What were you in national?
I was a medic.
Combat medic? Or?
Combat medic, Cheongsa medic.
Wow.
Yes.
And I guess you had a different hairstyle then.
Different hairstyle, different weight even.
Different weight.
Much thinner.
Much thinner. What happened to you, man?
I discovered the McSpicy, the double McSpicy.
So, yet you were very critical of NS in your initial statements.
Oh, yes.
And that got into some trouble, right?
And what do you mean?
No, I mean, when you made statements, you were also saying you were critical of NS, the fact that when you came back from Philippines...
Right.
Why?
Because I wasn't happy. So in my mind, because I grew up in the Philippines, 21 years, right? Came to Singapore, I didn't understand why I had to serve, because this country didn't, serve me. Like, I didn't study here. I wasn't fed by the Singaporean government. I didn't get any money from Singapore.
Then you should have just easy ways to just give up your citizenship.
Exactly. That's all I had to do. Because my father said that Singapore passport is good.
Then you should be angry with your father.
That's true.
Not with NS.
That's true. But anyway, whatever it was, I had to come back, right? So I came back, did NS, and I was very angry because of how structured it was, and because I was far from my family, and it was a new culture. Yeah. Actually, I talk like this. Like, this is my original accent. Really? Like, when I talk to my friends, I have a Filipino accent. But I learned in army how to talk like this. Yeah, so, I mean, it was a new culture.
You're a mixed up kid.
Very mixed up. And you know how in Singapore they like to make fun of the Filipino guy, right? Yeah. So I was made fun of in NS and the first few weeks in BMT.
Wow, that must have been depressing.
It was depressing, and I didn't know anyone. When I got out on Saturday,
I had no network.
No, when I come out doing book outs, I'll see everyone with their family, and I'll be like, oh.
So you had no extended family in Singapore?
I did, but we were not close because I grew up in the Philippines. So they didn't really, I mean, I'm sure they cared, but they didn't really...
I would have cared for you if you knew me then.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't know you then. But yeah, so it was very tough. So that's why I was angry. And I needed a place to vent it out. I didn't have friends. I mean, drinking isn't going to help everything. Yeah. So I went online and started renting the first...
That's how you started, right?
Yes, I first rented about a movie. The movie was called Burlesque. Then I rented about this viral ad that some school did about the girl slapping the boyfriend because he wanted to use a plastic bottle. It was super stupid. I rented about that, and then I rented about the clubbers, and that was the one that just blew up. Yeah, so it came from a place of anger.
So how did you survive?
After that?
NS.
Oh, NS.
2 years.
Wow. Oh, that was tough.
You made good friends?
Well, you know how NS is, you make friends and then after that they disappear. But yes, so during BMT, when I talk like this, I learned a lot about the Singaporean culture.
Yeah.
The Chinese culture, the Indian culture, the Malay culture. Then I went to medic course, because medic course a lot of Malay. So then I learned about the lepak culture. How to speak like Malay, like the Mina, the Mat, the difference, all that. So, and then when I went to unit, that's when I was more exposed to a wider range of, because you have your officers and your sergeants, you have your JC kids, the poly kids, the ITE kids. And that's when I got exposed to everything. And I mean, if there's one place I think to get, inculturated, it's NS.
So what are your thoughts about your NS experience today?
Now, I think I wouldn't have survived if I didn't, like in Singapore without NS. Like I'm not saying this because I work at Safra Radio or whatnot, but I mean, I definitely am thankful for the 2 years that, that gave me time to get ready for where I am now. If not, I wouldn't have understood the culture.
So do you think all foreigners who come here should go for NS?
Yes.
Regardless of age, even the 60-year-olds?
Oh, whoa.
I mean, it's a good way to get them in, right?
Maybe. Actually, 60-year-olds maybe. Like, not maybe BMT or 2 years.
Why not?
Because they might just die of a heart attack. My dad's 60, I don't think he can survive.
We're going to wrap up now.
Okay.
But I just want our audience to see why you had 3 million hits for that video. You made fun of Singaporeans dancing, right?
Right.
A parody of the Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to show us how you think Singaporeans dance?
Oh God, like which?
Show now.
Now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Show.
Like which race?
Any race. All 3 races.
Stand up. So like, do I have to stand?
You can stand. You can sit.
I'll just sit. I'll sit. Okay, so nowadays, because it's 2015, right?
I need to move the glasses.
No need lah. Okay. Like I mean, Indians generally can dance. I don't know. I think it's the Bollywood movies that got the rhythm.
It's in the blood, man.
It's in the blood. Yeah. So that's fine. Malays always like to rave, so it's still the same. Like this weird thing, and I don't understand it. But yeah, they like to rave. But nowadays, all the kids, including the Chinese kids, just do this. Yeah, it's boring. I don't clap anymore. But they just throw their hands in the air and. Yeah. Honestly, I don't need to stand, and that's it.
That's it.
Yep. This is it. And then after they do that, they check their phones, and then the next song comes up, they do this. No.
And you got 3 million hits for that.
No. This is the 2015 version.
But the one that got you the hit.
Oh, that was during the time where everyone was dancing on the dance floor. So that was the one where the Indians, would be dancing and they would have wet patches up in here. They would, and then they would wear pastel colors and wet patches. And then you have the Malays in one line, doing the rave, and then the Chinese people going offbeat, just like yeah. So it was really fun. It was a fun time, but it's changed. It's totally changed from then. Yeah.
Well, Dee Kosh, Daryl Koshi.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making
Thank you
time
for having
to be
me.
with us.
Thank you for having me.
And well, that's Daryl Koshi, also known as Dee Kosh.
Yeah.
I say we need more social commentators like him. What do you think? This has been IQ Hitlist. Log in to our website, www.iq.sg, to watch out for our next IQ Hitlist. Click the links to see other guests who have appeared on our previous episodes. Post your comments on social media and let us know if there's someone you would like us to interview on HitList.